Welcome to Simply Explained English. I am Lisa.
And I'm Eric. Do you want to improve your English easily? If so, you're in the right place.
Okay, today we'll listen to a podcast about phone addiction.
Remember, you can get the free transcript file in the description section.
Let's listen to it.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's podcast. I'm Mark, and I'm here with Emma. Hi, Emma.
Hi, Mark. Hello, listeners. Today we're talking about mobile phone addiction. Are you addicted to your phone? Stay with us to find out.
So, Emma, let's start by understanding what it means to be addicted to your mobile phone.
Good idea, Mark. I think being addicted means you can't stop using your phone, even if you want to.
Exactly. When you're addicted, your phone becomes the most important thing in your life. For example, do you feel nervous or upset when your phone is not with you?
Oh no, I do feel that way sometimes. Like, when my battery is low, I start to panic a little.
That's one of the signs. Other signs include checking your phone all the time, even when you're talking to someone, or spending hours scrolling through apps without noticing.
I see. So, if you check your phone every 5 minutes, or if you can't enjoy time with your friends because you're always on your phone, it could be a problem.
Yes, that's true. It's okay to use your phone, but when it starts to control your life, it might mean you're addicted.
Wow, this makes me think about my own habits.
If you do, don't worry. We'll talk about why this happens. So, Emma, now that we know the signs of mobile phone addiction, let's talk about why it happens. Why do you think people get so attached to their phones?
I think it's because phones are so useful. You can do everything on your phone: texting, calling, playing games, even shopping.
That's true, Emma. Phones are a double-edged sword, designed to keep us using them. A study from a university in the UK shows that apps like social media and games give us small rewards, like likes or points. These rewards make our brains feel happy, so we want to keep using our phones.
Oh, that makes sense. It's like when I post a picture and get lots of likes. It feels good, so I keep checking for more.
Exactly. This is because of something called dopamine. Dopamine is a chemical in your brain that makes you feel happy. Every time you get a notification or a like, your brain releases dopamine.
Wow, I didn't know that. So it's not just about liking my phone, it's my brain making me want to use it more.
That's right. Another reason is FOMO, or the fear of missing out. People worry they'll miss something important if they don't check their phones.
Oh, I've felt that before. It's like when everyone is talking about a new video, and I haven't seen it yet.
Exactly. Phones also help people escape stress or boredom. For example, if someone is nervous, they might scroll through their phone to feel better.
That's true. But it's sad that some people use their phones so much that they stop spending time with friends or family.
Yes, and that's why it's important to understand these reasons. Now that we know why mobile phone addiction happens, Emma, let's talk about what it can do to us. What are some of the effects you can think of?
Well, I think it's bad for our health. For example, looking at a screen all day makes my eyes feel tired.
That's a great point. Using your phone too much can cause eye strain and even headaches. And don't forget about sleep problems. Did you know that using your phone before bed can make it harder to sleep?
Yes, I've read about that. The light from the screen tricks your brain into thinking it's daytime.
Exactly. But it's not just our health. Being on your phone too much can hurt your relationships too. For example, if you're always checking your phone during a conversation, people might feel ignored.
That's so true. I've seen friends get upset because someone wasn't paying attention to them.
Another effect is on your work or studies. Spending too much time on your phone can make it hard to focus, which can lower your performance.
Wow, it sounds like phone addiction can affect every part of life.
All right, Emma, we've talked about the problems, but now let's focus on the solutions. What can people do to reduce their phone addiction?
I think the first step is to notice how much time you spend on your phone. Many phones have apps or settings that show your screen time.
That's a great tip. Once you know how much time you're spending, you can set limits. For example, You can decide to use your phone only for 2 hours a day.
Yes, and turning off notifications can really help too. I did that, and now I don't feel the need to check my phone every time it buzzes.
Good idea, Emma. Another tip is to set up phone-free zones. For example, you can decide not to use your phone in the bedroom or at the dinner table.
I like that. It's a good way to spend more time with family or friends without distractions.
Some people also find it helpful to set specific times to check their phones. For example, you can check your messages in the morning, afternoon, and evening instead of all the time.
And maybe taking up other activities can help too, like reading a book, going for a walk, or talking to friends in person.
Absolutely. The key is to find balance. Phones are useful, but they shouldn't control our lives.
Exactly. These tips can make a big difference.
So, Emma, we've talked about a lot today: what mobile phone addiction is, why it happens, and how to deal with it.
That's right, Mark. I hope our listeners found this helpful and will try some of the tips we shared.
Thanks for joining us today, everyone. We hope you enjoyed learning about phone addiction.
Yes, thanks for listening. Stay curious, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time, everyone.
What do you think about the podcast, Lisa?
It really made me think about how much time I spend on my phone. What about you?
Same here. I realized I'm guilty of scrolling through social media for hours. I liked their tips, especially creating phone-free zones. I think I'll try that at home.
Me too. It's all about balance, right? Let's see how well we can stick to their advice.
Agreed. Let's check in with each other next week and see how it's going.
Deal. Okay, what are the words today, Eric?
Okay, the first word today is to be addicted to. Then we will continue with to pay attention to and distraction. Then to take up. And the final one is a double-edged sword.
Let's start with the first word.
The first word is to be addicted to.
To be addicted to.
To be addicted to is an adjective. It means you like something so much that it's hard to stop doing it or using it. It's often used to talk about things like bad habits, social media, or even coffee.
Yes, it's like when someone loves something so much that they feel they need it all the time. For example, some people are addicted to their phones. They can't stop looking at them.
Here's an example sentence. He is addicted to playing online games. This means he plays games so much that it's hard for him to stop.
Another example is, she is addicted to chocolate. This means she eats chocolate all the time and feels like she can't live without it.
Let's talk about grammar. This phrase always includes the word to after the word addicted. You say addicted to something. For example, addicted to coffee or addicted to cars.
And don't forget, we usually use it with the verb to be, like I am addicted to, or they are addicted to.
Addiction can be about fun things, like hobbies, but it's also a serious topic when it's about harmful things like smoking or bad habits.
Okay, well, I think now our followers understand the phrase to be addicted to better. Shall we move on to the next word?
Let's do that. The next word is to pay attention.
To pay attention.
Pay attention is a verb phrase. It means to listen to, watch, or think carefully about something. For example, when your teacher is talking, you need to pay attention so you can understand the lesson.
Yes, paying attention is important. If you don't, you might miss something important, like instructions or safety rules.
Here's an example sentence. Please pay attention to the road while you're driving. This means that the person should focus on driving and not get distracted by other things.
Great example. Here's another one. You need to pay attention to the teacher when she is explaining homework. This means the student should listen carefully to understand the homework.
Now, here's something to remember about this phrase. We often use pay attention to when we want to say what someone should focus on. The word to is very important in this phrase. It shows what the person is focusing on.
And don't forget, you can pay attention to things you see, hear, or even think about, like paying attention to your feelings or to the details in a story.
Paying attention is a good habit to have in life, at school, and even at work.
Okay, well, I think now our followers understand the phrase to pay attention better. Now, let's move on to our next phrase.
The next word is distraction.
Distraction.
This word is a noun. A distraction is something that stops you from paying attention to what you are doing. It comes from to distract. But we'll focus on distraction today. For example, if you are studying and your phone rings, the phone is a distraction.
Yes, distractions can make it hard to finish your work or focus on something important. For me, loud noises are a big distraction when I'm trying to read.
Let me give the first example. The children's laughter was a distraction while I was trying to write my report. This means the sound of the children made it hard to focus on the report.
That's a good one. Let me try. Checking social media can be a distraction when you're doing homework. This means that looking at social media takes your focus away from homework.
Here's something useful to know about distraction. We use distraction with the phrase get distracted. This means to lose focus. For example, I got distracted by the TV. It's a common way to describe being pulled away from what you're doing.
Distractions are everywhere, but learning to avoid them can help you stay focused and finish tasks faster. Okay, well, we've explained distraction pretty well. Let's move on to the next word.
The next word is to take up.
To take up.
Take up is a phrasal verb. It means to start doing a new activity, hobby, or habit. For example, if you decide to start playing tennis, you can say, I'm going to take up tennis.
Yes, it's like starting something new and making it part of your life. For example, I took up painting last year, and now it's my favorite hobby.
Or, he took up yoga to feel more relaxed. This means he started practicing yoga as a way to relax.
Another example is, she decided to take up baking during the holidays. This means she started learning and practicing how to bake.
Now, here's a tip about grammar. After take up, we usually use a noun or a gerund, a verb with ing. For example, take up swimming or take up photography.
Good point. Also, take up can be used in different ways, like talking about space or time. For example, this table takes up too much space in the living room. But today, we're focusing on the meaning of starting an activity.
Learning to take up new useful things is a great way to grow and have fun in life.
Okay, well, we've reached the last word of today. What is the last word, Eric?
The last word is a double-edged sword.
A double-edged sword.
A double-edged sword is an idiom. It means something that has both good and bad effects. Imagine a sword that can cut on both sides. It's powerful, but also dangerous because it can hurt you too. For example, having a lot of money can be a double-edged sword. It's great because you can buy many things, but it might also cause stress or problems with friends.
Oh, I see. Another example could be social media. It's helpful for connecting with friends, but it can also make people feel lonely or compare themselves too much to others.
Exactly. Or, technology is a double-edged sword. It makes life easier, but it can also cause people to lose jobs. This means technology is both helpful and harmful.
That makes sense. Let me give one more example. Being famous is a double-edged sword. You get attention and love, but you lose your privacy. This shows that fame has both good and bad sides.
That's a helpful tip. Remember, A double-edged sword is a great way to describe situations that are both positive and negative.
Okay. I think now our listeners understand the phrase a double-edged sword better. Well, that's it for today's episode of Simply Explained English. We hope you found the words helpful and the explanations easy to understand.
Thanks for listening. Keep studying your English.
And stay tuned. Bye for now.